Enzo Maresca, what a man you are, and you may just be a genius because that lineup, the setup that we saw today was just so interesting from Manchester City. Now, anyone that's watched my Man City video during pre-season would know I've been very critical of the City press. City have been pressing very high in that 4-2-4 structure and they weren't getting it right because the fullbacks weren't jumping on quick enough. Now, Maresca changed that today, and for that, I think he deserves a lot of credit because we know how stubborn managers normally are. But that's not me saying City got the press correct today because they didn't. And you saw Bournemouth exploit it for the goal today. Semenya goes out to press the Bournemouth right centre back. The Bournemouth right centre back plays a line breaking pass into the midfield. Guehi probably should have done better in terms of jumping on quicker. Elliot Anderson probably should have shifted across quicker. The Bournemouth midfielder then has time to find the pass to the right back in Adam Smith. Adam Smith has all the time in the world. He goes long. And then listen, whatever happens after that was a disaster from a defensive point of view. But again, the issue there, a lot of people are saying, was Guehi jumping on. But the problem is, if Guehi jumps on, which he half-heartedly did today, it leaves City in a very difficult situation from a defensive point of view in terms of it leaves Ruben Diaz, Rico Lewis defending wide channels. Are they comfortable doing that? No. Kusanov as the anchor. One decision went wrong in terms of the way he attacked the ball. City got carved open and it was a clear-cut opening for Bournemouth, which they obviously scored for. It was a big issue for City today in terms of that Semenya press. The follow-through of the plays after that, they weren't getting it right. But again, like I said, Maresca rectified the issues over the previous weeks. Let's see how he continues to do that going forward. Now, let's talk about the biggest talking point going into this game, which was Mark Guehi playing in midfield. And that shocked me because I think a lot of people would have thought Kusanov would have played right back. Rico Lewis would have been the one in midfield. Guehi would have been the one pushing high on the left-hand side, which on paper you could argue makes a lot more sense. But no, I think he went with Mark Guehi in midfield because I think City have really lacked that physicality in midfield over the last couple of weeks. We saw Kovacic last week getting overrun. Mark Guehi just adds that bit of a physical presence into that side. He actually done very well in that role, in my personal opinion. Now, like I said, I don't want to see him in that role going forward. We know City are obviously going to sign Boadi, who's obviously going to be filling in that area. But Guehi actually deserves a lot of credit today because he was actually making darting runs across into the final third. You guys can see the image on the screen here. His passing was actually not too bad. Of course, there was moments, especially there was a pass that I think he tried playing to Cherki in the second half, where the weight of the pass could have been better. You could clearly see that was a centre-back playing in midfield because that was quite a simple pass. But overall, I think he actually benefited Man City quite a lot today. Now, I think today was also very apparent about City's, let's say, lack of dynamics on the right-hand side. In terms of Maresca done something that he got criticised quite a lot for at Chelsea. In terms of, especially in the first half, he had Rico Lewis in that number, let's say, 10 role on the right-hand side and Foden holding it with. And now we all know Foden, we all have our opinions of Foden, but we know Foden's probably better in those central zones. And to get the best out of Foden, you probably want Rico Lewis being the guy on the outside. Maresca didn't do that. That was similar to, like I said, his Chelsea dynamics, where he had Gusto in that Rico Lewis role and Palmer holding width, and a lot of Chelsea fans criticised that. I don't think it worked perfectly today. There was obviously glimpses where Rico Lewis and Foden combined well, but again, that's not something I want to see going forward. And I think Maresca did see those issues where in the second half, he did have Rico Lewis, the one going down the outside. Of course, it weren't for long before Mateus Nunes obviously came on, but I don't think that, again, fully clicked for Manchester City. Now, another thing Maresca I think deserves credit for today is that we saw City in that 3-2 shape a lot more in terms of Guehi and Anderson together in that midfield, rather it being in that 3-1 shape. I think City were obviously aware of the transitional threat that Bournemouth have with people like Ryan. Now, this is not me saying it was perfect today because it clearly wasn't. We know how many issues City currently have in the out of possession setup. But I think Maresca done the best he probably could have in that area today. Now, there was no way I was going to make this video today and not talk about Cherki because the difference he made when he came on was sensational. Honestly, the second assist, some of the stuff that he sees on the football pitch and then actually executes, it's a joke. I really hope that we see a lot more of him in the Premier League this year. A lot more starts because honestly, he's probably arguably the best creator in the Premier League alongside Bruno Fernandes. He's an absolute joke. Now, all in all, not a bad performance from Manchester City today. A lot better than what we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks. Was it perfect? No, but this is the opening game of the season. They got 3 points against Bournemouth, who are a very difficult side. City clearly need a lot more additions going forward in the transfer window. Boadi nearly confirmed, but they need more. But all in all, I think City fans will be happy with the performance today and obviously with the result. You can't complain. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will be back soon.